It's honestly probably super stupid to make this video just because of how much controversy and how much debate there is over this topic, but I'm just gonna open it. I'm just gonna open the can of worms. Okay, so immigrants are not the problem. Both you can't say I'm partisan, right? You can't say I'm either or, because both parties, Democrat and Republican, are both basically painting immigrants to be the villain, to be like the evil, do crime, whatever, kick them out. It's not the immigrants. Just it's this this is so annoying, and it's just an easy scapegoat to pinpoint all your problems. It's not our problem. It's these people that you don't know. It's these people, these other people that aren't Americans. Those are the problems. Those people are the problems. It's an easy scapegoat to just label them as the problem, and then just shift all of our issues. They're not my responsibility. It's the responsibility of those people. And that annoys the living crap out of me. You know, immigrants would probably solve so many of our issues that it just goes over people's head. And I'm just gonna, you can watch if you want, you cannot watch if you don't want, right? I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not necessarily saying that you have to believe what I say, but at least hear me out, and then maybe you can debate in the comments. Maybe we can talk and have a civilized conversation. Maybe you'll sway me, maybe I'll sway you. It doesn't really matter. I'm just giving you my opinion, and I just think that the way we're scapegoating all our problems to immigrants is just super stupid. This mainly came up just because I think there's some campaign about Trump saying that all the immigrants are eating all your animals or something like that. It's just something stupid. And again, this is not a partisan video, right? Biden has been trying to limit immigrants for a long time now. Trump has been doing it for a long time now, right? Both parties are in the same boat of just saying all the problems are immigrants are all the problems. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. Number one, people are talking about how Social Security, right, the old age pension that you get, that's going to die out or it's going to run out of money. So the main problem with Social Security right now is we have an aging demographic. What does that mean? So basically that means that the how Social Security works is the people that are working fund Social Security, right, through their taxes, and then that money goes to the older people so that they can live off without having to necessarily work. It's almost like a Ponzi scheme, but I don't want to call it a Ponzi scheme, but it basically is, where you get more, like a bigger base, everyone in that bigger base contributing a little bit, so that the people up top, or the people that are older, in cases of Social Security, they basically get the payout that the people that are working are paying in taxes, in Social Security taxes. That works. It's all fine and dandy when your age pyramid looks like this. It looks like a triangle, right? Where you have less old people and more young people. Because more young people means more people paying taxes, and then they pay a little bit, and that small amount of tax is able to subsidize for the returns or for the Social Security benefits of the older people. But ours is looking like this. Ours is slowly looking more and more like this, right? Where basically you have less working people and more old people. Think about it, right? The advances in science, people are just living longer, and also people are having less kids. The more as a general rule of thumb, the more advanced, or as a society or as a country advances, their population tends to have less kids, and then those kids are usually higher quality, if that makes sense. So like, instead of having a bunch of kids and kind of like hoping that they survive, you have 1 or 2, 3, 4, like fewer kids, and then you're spending more money and more time into each individual child. But because you have fewer people, you have fewer kids, you have fewer workers. You have fewer people contributing to Social Security taxes. So that means that you're basically running out of money, right? You have less. You don't have enough people making money to pay for the people that are earning money up here. So one way to alleviate that is, instead of you can't just force people to have kids. You can't just force people to, you better pop one out. Oh, it's your turn next year. Next year's your turn. You better pop one out, right? You can't say that. So the way to alleviate that is you have immigrants, right? You have a steady supply of people from different countries moving in to America, or moving into whatever country you reside in, so that you make up for the decrease in people giving birth. Like, another case study is, if you look at Japan, right? Japan is freaking out because their population is declining, and their population is also getting older. When Why are they freaking out? Because they don't have enough people paying for the old age pensions, right? So when everyone is saying that Social Security is running out, they're running out of money. Well, immigration is actually a reasonable solution to this problem. Is it necessarily the only solution? Maybe not, right? But it is a really quick solution. It is a pretty obvious solution. I also wanted to talk about how people are saying, oh, immigrants are the ones that are committing all the crimes. You know, and I know, and everyone knows that is most likely not the case. Think about it. You risked your life. You traveled like tens of miles, hundreds of miles. You went through this incredible journey. You said goodbye to everyone, and then you basically like gave up everything to hopefully make a living in this new country. And then you're gonna commit a crime and possibly be deported, like, and then you might be deported back. Think about why would someone do that? Why would an immigrant that's like actually like coming here for work, why would they do an act that would potentially get them kicked out of the place that they struggled so hard to get to, just to get thrown back to whatever country they came from, right? The reason why they immigrated, it was probably because they thought that there'd be a better standard, like they'd make a better living in whatever country they're immigrating to, in this case the United States. I just don't buy it that you're saying that most of the crime is because of immigrants. I mean, maybe yeah, some people, but like to say that all of them are like that, I really don't buy that. I don't know. Maybe there's some stats, but it just doesn't make sense. Logically, it doesn't make sense. If you were to put yourself in their shoes, it just does not make sense. Let's talk about another problem that we've experienced that would have been solved or could be solved by more immigration to America. Everyone talks about inflation. Oh, inflation sucks, whatever. But the part of the economy that faced the most inflation, or at least like the thing that created the most inflation, was something called services. Basically, hiring people after the pandemic. Why is this? Because during the pandemic, a lot of people either they retired, they left the job because of some health problem. Maybe they died, right? A lot of times, like, and then you basically in this era during the pandemic, a lot of people just left the workforce, right? Either due to like natural turnover, people wanted to quit, people like just a lot of people stopped working, and we needed to fill those job positions, but we couldn't because there wasn't enough people. So then all these companies had all these open positions, and they needed to hire people, and because there wasn't enough people that were willing to work at these positions, they had to pay extra. And that's what causes inflation. And think about it. Maybe you're not purposely like maybe you don't like hire anyone. You're not hiring some random person, right? You don't have to pay for someone's salary, but you have to pay for eggs. You have to pay for lettuce. You have to pay for whatever you're buying, and that company has to hire someone that will pick those vegetables, that will ship those vegetables, that will ring you up at the cashier, that will clean the floors at night. Services is found in everything, and the inflation due to services, or the inflation due to a lack of workers, causes everything else to go up in price. When people are saying immigrants are taking our jobs, isn't that a good thing? That literally we didn't have enough people working jobs, which is what caused inflation. If we had enough people that were willing to take that job at minimum wage, or oftentimes less than minimum wage because they don't have citizenship and people know that they can basically take advantage of that scenario, that's what happens. People don't have those jobs. They have to hire people that are demanding a higher wage, and then that increase in cost to pay for those people eventually trickles down to the cost of eggs, the cost of apples, the cost of whatever you're buying, right? And a really annoying note that I have for anyone that is like saying that we have to like ban all immigrants or ban all these people, I really want to ask, have they eaten out at any restaurant? Have they hired anyone to look after their kids? Maybe to do landscaping? Maybe to help them build a house, or like to help them do some labor, some hard manual labor. Isn't it true that a lot of the times those people are the immigrants? Think about the people that wash dishes, or the people that like wipe the tables at restaurants. Have you never gone to a restaurant? Think about the people that like stand outside of Home Depot or whatever. when you need landscaping, when you need someone hard manual labor. Think about the people doing like house cleaning services. Are those people not immigrants? Those, a lot of the times, those people are immigrants, right? This isn't me stereotyping. That's just the case. They oftentimes, I mean, unless you want to pay the premium for buying an American person who's charging you 3 times the price, which is often not the case. But these people, the same people that are preaching, oh, immigrants suck, or immigrants are the source of all our problems, they're the same people that are hiring these people. Like, here, let's talk about American companies and hiring. It's not. This makes me so sad, but let's talk about the American companies that, behind everyone's back, they're the ones that are hiring immigrant kids, like 12-year-olds, 13, 14-year-olds. Do you think those kids want to work? Do you think those kids want to support their... Do you think those kids want to like have to support their family? They don't want to, but they have to, right? They're stuck between a rock and a hard position, and they found that, oh, well, I mean, I don't get a job here, but then I'll get a job in the States. Even though it's very little money and it's super dangerous, at least I'll be able to make money for my family, right? So New York Times did a piece, whether or not I believe the article or the editor or whatever, right? They did a piece. They found multiple American companies that were hiring underage migrants. They were hiring migrant children as workers. They found multiple companies that were hiring migrant workers, migrant child workers to work, because basically it was cheap labor, right? And there wasn't enough labor in the States, so they had to turn to immigrants. Do you eat Chewy bars, Nature Valley bars? That just kid full of underage workers. Who's this Carolina? She is some 15-year-old. I don't think she... Do you think her favorite pastime is helping you make Chewy and Nature Valley bars? Packing Lucky Charms and Cheerios? Do you think... Yeah, you think, okay, well, I don't eat General Mills, whatever. Oh, maybe you're bougie. Maybe you go to Whole Foods or something. Okay, well, Whole Foods. Deboned chicken sold at Whole Foods. You like Ben and Jerry's? You go to Walmart or Target. Children make auto parts used by Ford and General Motors. These people are like 12-year-olds, 13, 14, 15-year-olds. There's cases where... And then the biggest problem is they basically, these companies, they get a finger waved at them like, that's bad. They like, someone shakes a finger, and then they're like, oh no, we're so sorry, we'll never do it again. And then they do it again. And then no one really cares, because that's how we basically prop up these, or that's how we keep these prices down. Think about who picks your apples. Think about who picks your fruit and your vegetables. Think about, I didn't know this until now, but like, who's making your freaking auto parts? Come on. And you might say, oh, that's not true, I don't believe it. I need to find this thing. Where is this? Right here. Right? They admit to it. General Mills said it recognized the seriousness of this situation. Well, you ain't doing General Mills. PepsiCo declined to comment. Well, you're definitely not doing Pepsi. Jesus Christ. I don't want to talk about serious stuff, but like, that's not... Can we stop scapegoating just immigrants? And like, do you think they want to be treated as second class? Do you think they want to be treated as second class citizens? Do you think they want to take the risk of of leaving a country where they speak the language, they have friends, they have families, they know the environment, they know everything, right? Their culture is there. They want to go to some random country where they don't speak the language, they have no friends, no families. The culture doesn't. They don't know the culture. They don't understand the culture. And worse, the people there hate them. Do you think they want to go there? No one wants to go there. Okay, like no one wants to do that. What if I told you, or whatever country you're in, I picked you up and you're like, you're gonna go live in, I don't know, Uzbekistan for 5 years. I don't know. Maybe it's beautiful. Maybe it probably is beautiful, right? But like, do you know the country's language? You're gonna have to You're gonna have to learn a new language. Do you know their culture, right? You're gonna have to fit in. Do you have you don't know anything? You don't have any friends. You don't have any family. It's comfortable to stay in where you are. But these people, like, they're making the tough journey just because they need to support their family. They need to support You think they're coming here just to rob stuff? You know, Latin America didn't have cartels until we exported it. Until we exported those people down there, right? Like, they didn't have those gangs and cartels and stuff like that until we brought them there. Until us Americans, we Americans, we're. This is a stupid rant. I know I'm getting hate, but like, this is important. Like, don't be fooled by the news. The news just wants you to say, like, oh, we're not the problem. Look at these people over there. Those people are the problem. That's the easiest thing to do. That's the easiest thing to do. Just point the problem at someone else. That I don't want to bring in any analogies, but did this not happen in the 1940s? Yes, it did. Right? Yes, it did. We're doing the same thing. We're doing the exact same thing. All around the world, too. It's all around the world, too. Right? It's not just America. You see it in Italy now. You see it in France. You see it in so many places. And these people just want... It's easy to feel like, oh, they're taking over whatever. Honestly, like, they don't want to be there either. It's just, they want to stay in their hometown, but there's a problem with their hometown, right? They just want a temporary aside. There's a problem that they want to escape, and that's why they're leaving, right? Like, they're only trying to go to somewhere that... They're only trying to make a living. They're only trying to make things work. They're only trying to make ends meet. And you're making it a lot harder for them. This article was in February 26, 2023. Did you know about this? I don't think many people knew about this. So why is it that when we see possibly like 1 or 2 cases of migrants being rowdy or whatever, that's blown out of proportion on the news? But we don't see this. Technically, yes, I agree. They're not supposed to be here, right? They're undocumented. What they did was illegal. But what these companies are doing is also illegal, right? Why aren't we finding them? Why are we not punishing them, right? Did you know General Mills was doing this? Did you know PepsiCo was doing this? Why? Because them doing this, them hiring little kids that just completely unfairly in horrible working conditions, horrible pay, horrible everything. It's good for the economy. It keeps prices lower. That's why. I talked enough. Hi. Bye.